So hello and welcome to this Adobe Animate tutorial. Today we are going to create this HTML5 animated banner, and right now you can see what we are going to be doing. This animation is very simple, but this all depends on the easings, so yeah. One thing that I want to say is that I also created a very similar tutorial, but with the JavaScript, with the interactivity, and if I go with my mouse over, the animation is going to appear, and if I go with my mouse away, the animation will go away. And I am going to put the link in the description for the tutorial, but in this tutorial we are just going to create this animation. Also, one thing that I want to say is that in this tutorial I am not going to show you how you can prepare this banner for the Google Ads, because there are additional steps, but I am going to provide the link in the description for the tutorial where I am showing that. But yeah, right now we can start. Alright, so right now I am on the site Freepik, and I am going to put the link in the description, and I am also going to provide you the Illustrator file that we are going to create right now, and I am also going to provide you the PNGs that I will create. So all you need to do is click download, then go with free download and just save this, but I will hit cancel because I already saved this. And one thing that I want to mention is that if you want to use this commercially, you will have to attribute the author or go premium on the Freepik, and the same thing is with the files that I'm going to provide you, because I don't own them, but I want to provide you them to make this a little bit more simple. But yeah, now I will go to the place where I have my files, and I'm going to have a zip file, and I'm going to right click, I'm going to choose extract here, and I'm going to double click on this IE or on the IPS file, and it is going to open me this in Adobe Illustrator. You might have some warning about missing fonts, I don't mind, so I am just going to hit close. And yeah, now I'm going to create new document, so I will go with Ctrl N, Command N, and I'm going to choose the width, which is going to be 400 by 600. You can go with 300 by 600, that's like the size for the Google Ads, but I would like to have this little bit wider. I want this to be for web, pixels, RGB 72, so I am just going to keep this as a default, and I'm going to click create. Now I will go to this document. I can zoom in with Alt or Option and mouse wheel, and if I'm going to click on this and I will try to move this, I can see that it is all connected. So what I'm going to do is I will right click, and I'm going to choose release clipping mask, and yeah, and now I'm going to be able to select these items one by one. So with the shift I am going to click on this one, and I'm going to select a few of them, so like this, and maybe this one and this one, and yeah. So right now I can select all of this and drag this to the new document that I have created, like so, and I am going to scale this down while everything is selected. So if you deselect this, just try to select it one more time, and right now with the shift and to stay proportion with the proportions, and Alt or Option to go from the center, I'm going to scale this down like so something like this. And yeah, you can of course rescale this as you want, but I'm going to keep this as it is. And yeah, now the background, it depends if you would like to have the same background as they or don't. But if you would like to, it's going to be a little bit tricky. So what we will have to do is I will go to the layers. I am going to have everything in the layer 1, and I can open the layer, and there is going to be bunch of things. And if you cannot see layers, you can go to the window and you can get it. But yeah, and in the layers I am going to hide everything like so, and I am just going to show the bottom things, so like this, and like this. Okay, and the next one is going to be this one, so I do not want to have that one. And yeah, I am going to hide the bottom one, which is this background, and I am going to hide this one, which was like the grid. And right now I am just going to have four the layers, which are like the parts of this pool. And now what I can do is I can, while I have everything else hidden, I can also hide this one. But yeah, I am going to select everything like so, and I am just going to go with Ctrl G, Command G, or you can right click and go with group. Right now I have ungroup because I already grouped this. But yeah, and I can go ahead and put this to my document like so, and I am going to scale this down with the shift like so maybe something like this. Okay, now we can have this as an Illustrator file, but I am going to put this to the Photoshop anyway. But I will at least show you. I am going to have everything in this layer 1, and I would like to put this to the separated layers. So I am going to select the layer 1. I will go to these 3 lines, and I am going to choose release 2 layers. And right now I will be able to select all of them and drag them outside of the layer 1. Layer 1 is empty, so I can delete this, and I can put the background to the bottom like so. And this is what we are going to have. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to go to the Photoshop, and I am going to drag them to the Photoshop. But before of that, I will just show you. I can save this, and I can go to the place where I want to have this. So I can just create new folder, which is going to be Illustrator, like so. And I can go inside, and I can call this to be pool, and I'm going to click save, and I will go with OK. And right now, if I would go to the Adobe Animate, and I would go with the same width and height, so I will go with 400 by 600 like so, and I'm going to have this as HTML5 canvas with frame rate 24, and I'm going to click create. Now what I could do, and this is something that I do very often, is I can go to the place where I have my Illustrator file, and I can just drag it to the Adobe Animate, and this is going to give me some options, but I do not need to change anything. I am going to have some kind of warning about incompatibility report. It's about some blending modes, but I am just going to click OK, and I am going to import this. And we are going to have some warning about missing blending modes, because some of the blending modes are not supported in Adobe Animate, and you can see that it is a little bit blurry. And right now, if I would go with Control Enter, Command Enter to see this in the browser, some of them are going to look fine, some of them are not going to look that fine. So I don't like to use this as a vector. Okay, in Adobe Animate there are like this option. I can go to the file, and I can go to the publish settings, and I can, instead of the texture, go to the sprite sheet like so, and I can go with Control Enter, Command Enter, but this is going to make this even worse. Or I could go to the file, publish settings, and change this back to the texture, and I could go to the image settings, and I can make the quality of the PNGs a little bit bigger, like so. I know that I am right now talking about like stuff which is like more advanced, but yeah. So this is like an option. You can go with this, but what I'm going to do is I am going to go to the Photoshop, and in the Photoshop I am going to create a new file, and I am going to provide you these PNGs, and I am just going to create width and height, which is going to be 300 by 300, for example. And now one by one I will have to drag these vectors to the Photoshop like so. So I am going to go like this, okay. And now I can take other ones, so I can go, for example, with this one, and I am going to drag it to the Photoshop. So yeah, right now I would drag them one by one to the Photoshop, and then what I would do is I would hide all of them except of the one. I would hide the background. I could go with the crop tool, see, or in here crop tool, and I can crop this like so, like so, like so, and like so, okay. And right now I can go ahead and go with the file. I can go with export, and I can go with export S, or you can go with Control Alt Shift G, or I don't know, S, and I can go with PNG like so. And right now I can see that it's going to be like 8 kilobytes, and I can export this, and I can create a folder for this. So I am going to call this to be images, for example, and I can go ahead and call this to be image 1 like so, and I can save this. And the same way then I can hide this one, I can show this one, I can go with crop tool, and I can either make this bigger or make this smaller, and like this I can save all of them. So I am not going to show you all of them, because right now you know how you can do all of them, but I am going to provide you them. And I will just very quickly show you how I am going to get the background. So I will go one more time to the Photoshop and I'm going to create new document, so Control N, and right now I will go with 400 by 600 because that's the size that we are going to have, pixels, RGB and so on, and I'm going to click create, and now I am going to get this this background to the Photoshop like so, and yeah, I will have to scale this, so I am just going to hold Alt or Option to go from the center like so. You can scale it as much as you want because it is vector, okay? And now I am just going to export this, so file, export S, or you can see Alt Shift Control W is the shortcut. And right now I do not want this to be PNG. I can have this as a PNG, but I prefer to have this as a JPEG because there is like no transparency. And in the JPEG we can choose the quality, so you want to have in the Adobe Animate as small file size as possible. So I would go maybe with something like 5, which is like 38 kilobytes, and I can export this the same way, and I can call this to be BG. Okay, so yeah, right now I am going to export all of these PNGs. I am going to provide you this. You can make this on your own, or you can use mine, and I will see you in Adobe Animate in the moment. Alright, so right now I have all of them, and what I'm going to do actually is I am going to get rid of this document and I'm going to create a new one. So one more time I will go with 400 by 600 like so, and you can use the vectors if you want, but if you are going to have any issues with the vectors, you can go with the PNGs. So right now I will go to the place where I have my images, and I am going to select all of them, and I am just going to drag them to the Adobe Animate like so. Now I am going to have all of them in on the one layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything like so. I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose distribute to layers, and right now I can put the background to the bottom like so, and yeah. Now this background I would like to position to the center like so, so I can just position it like so. Or what you can do is you can click on this, you can go to the align, you can choose align to the stage, and you can align this horizontally and vertically like so, and yeah. And now one thing, if you cannot see things which are outside of the stage, there is this option clip content outside of the stage, and yeah. But now what I'm going to do is first of all I will lock the background, so I do not want to accidentally move this, and I am just going to position this stuff like so where I want. So you can go with something like this, and yeah, okay, so this is fine for me. And now what I'm going to do is I will have to convert all of them to the symbols to be able to animate them. So one by one I am going to click on this one, I will go to the modify, convert to symbol or F8, and I am not going to name them, so I am going to keep this to be symbol 1. I want this to be movie clip, this registration point doesn't matter, that's for the JavaScript, so I am just going to click OK. And right now I am going to go with shortcuts, so this is going to be number 2 and so on. So yeah, I will have to convert all of them to the symbol to be able to animate them. The background we are not going to animate, so background we are not going to convert to the symbol. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the timeline for everything, so I will go maybe to frame 250, and I'm going to with shift select all of the frames, and I'm going to click F5, or you can right click and insert the frame like so. Now what I'm going to do is I will go to maybe frame, I don't know, 30 like so, or you can go maybe 40, we will see. And I am going to create new keyframes for all of them except of the background, so I am just going to select all of the layers but not the background, and I am going to create new keyframe, F6, or right click, insert the keyframe somewhere here. And now I will go to the initial keyframes like so, and in here I am just going to position this outside of the stage. So I am just going to put it like so, this one may be in here, this one here, this one here, and this one here, so like so. And now I will just go anywhere in between. I am going to right click and I am going to choose create classic twin, so we are just going to have this animation. Now the important thing about the animation is going to be the easing. So right now, if I go with Control Enter, Command Enter to see this in the browser, we are just going to have this ugly linear animation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of the keyframes, and I'm going to go to the classic ease, this pre-made easings, and I'm going to choose easy out. This means that it is going to start quickly and it is going to slow down at the end. And we have some options. So I have the first option, which is like not that strong. Then we have like cubic, which is stronger, and so on. So we can try the third option. So I'm going to double click and I will go with Control Enter, and you will see that it will start quickly and then it will like slow down at the end like so. Okay, I don't like this, so I am going to make this little bit longer. So I'm going to go maybe to frame 40, and I'm going to go with Control Enter, and we are going to have something like this. So yeah, I think that this is better, and I'm going to keep this. So you can either make the animation a little bit longer, or I could go with like 30, and in that case I would go with easing, which is going to be this cubic, and I think that this would also be fine. Okay, so you can choose anything, but I will go back a couple of times. So I am going to keep this on the 40 and yeah. Now what we can do, if we want, we can rotate them on these keyframes. Or we can rotate them on the initial keyframes, but yeah, I am going to rotate it on these keyframes. So this one I am going to go with Q, and I am going to rotate it maybe like so. This one I am going to rotate like so. This one I do not need to rotate because you are not going to see any difference. Maybe a little bit because of this, but yeah, I am going to rotate this one. I do not need to rotate all of them, only some of them. That's up to you. But yeah, right now we are going to have at least a little bit of the rotation like so. And now what I'm going to do basically is I will go maybe I don't know, 20 frames more, and I'm going to create new keyframes for all of them, F6, and in between in here I do not want to have any motion. But then what I'm going to do is I will move like 50 frames more, or I don't know, 40, 50, and I'm going to create new keyframe, F6 for all of them, and I am just going to reposition them. So this one I am going to put in here, this one I am going to put in here like so, this one I can put somewhere here, this one in here like so, and yeah, and yeah, like so, and one more time I can rotate them as I want. So I am just going to rotate this one, I am going to rotate this one like so, I am going to rotate this one like so, and yeah, basically this is all that we are going to be doing. Okay, but the important thing is going to be the easing. So I am going to select all of them, and I'm going to create classic twin. So right now we are just going to have the linear animation. I can play this. So the first animation we are going to have with the easing, and the second one we are going to have linear, and that's really ugly. So what I'm going to do is I am going to select all of the, let me do this, come on, I am going to select all of the keyframes for the second animation like so, and right now I am going to go to the classic ease, and right now I do not want to go with easy out, but I would like to go with easy in out. This is going to make the animation at the beginning slow, then fast in the middle, and then slow at the end. And maybe I would like to go with the same easing, so with this quart. So I am going to double click, and I am going to go with Control Enter to see this. So we are going to have the first one, then we are going to have the second one, and yeah, we can play with these easings and with this timing. So if we would like to, we can try the other easing. We can try the stronger one, which is this quint. The difference is going to be very subtle, but yeah, something like this, and yeah. Now one thing that I would like to say is that I am not going to explain all of the publish settings, because that's something that I am going to explain, or I explain in the tutorial for the Google Ads, like how to prepare banners for the Google Ads. But in the file, in the publish settings, I have this right now as a texture. Okay, but I explained the differences in that tutorial, so yeah. But when you have the texture, you have like the option for the image settings, and in here I have the option for the quality of the PNGs, which is going to be 8 or 32. So if you are going to have some kind of issues with your PNGs, you can switch it to 32 like so, and right now the images should have like a better quality if you had like issues with the quality. But yeah, we are going to have the first animation, then we are going to have the second animation, and then we can do this one more time if we want. So I can one more time go ahead and create new keyframe F6, and I can just move another like 50 frames or anything F6, and I can reposition this last time, so I can put this in here, this one in here, and this one like so, and yeah, the same thing like so, and like so, and one more time the same thing. I'm going to create the classic ease. I am going to put the same easing like so. So I'm going to go with this one, and if you want at the end you can rotate the things little bit like so, and yeah. So let me go with this one and let me rotate this, but this is a little bit strange, I don't know, but yeah, I'm going to rotate this one, and I'm going to rotate this one. I probably accidentally like moved the anchor point of this one, but yeah, let me see. Okay, I'm going to have the animation like so, and then I am going to have this like this. Okay, let me play this. So I'm going to have this like so, then I'm going to have this like this, and yeah. Okay, so it seems that it's fine. If not, then what I would do is I would just delete that layer. I would go to the library and I would animate this one more time. But yeah. Now the last thing that I'm going to show you is if we are going to play the animation like so, and then we are going to like stop the animation, and then nothing else is going to happen. So if we want, we can get rid of these additional frames. I am going to zoom out like so, and I am just going to zoom out even more like so, and I am just going to select all of these frames with shift, and I can right click and I can choose remove frames like so, and yeah, this is what we are going to have. So we could create some additional text if we want. We can like create new layer. I can go to the rectangle tool like so. I can go with the properties, and I can choose maybe white color like so, and I can create a rectangle like this, and I can go to the text tool with some, I don't know, blue color, and I can type in here like pool party or anything, and if we want, we can animate this the same way that we are animating the shapes. We would have to convert this to the symbol and so on. So you can play with this. I just wanted to show you this kind of animation. Is very simple, but all of the stuff depends on the easings, and yeah, I'm going to delete this text and this shape, and yeah. So now, as I told you, I am not going to explain you how you can prepare this for the Google Ads, and I'm not going to explain the publish settings, but I can at least show you how you can save this and how you can export this. So I'm just going to save this, Ctrl S, and I will go to the place where I want to have this. So I will go to the place, correct place, and I'm just going to create new folder, which I'm going to call to be animate, and I will go inside of that folder, and I can call this to be pool, and I'm going to click save. So right now, if I go to that place, I am going to have some animate file and some recover animate file that are going to be the same. But once this is saved, and I will go with Control Enter, Command Enter to see this in the browser, it will automatically publish me some JavaScript, some HTML, and some images. I will just delete them because I would like to put them to the separated folder. So you can go to the file, you can go to the publish settings, and I am going to have this as a texture, and I am going to have this as a 32, the quality, and I will go to this little icon, and I'm going to choose the publish destination. You can choose any folder on your PC, but I prefer to go to the place where I have my animate file, and in here I usually create folder which I call index. That's the folder that we was sending to the client, and I can go inside and I can call this also to be index, or you can call it as you want, and I'm going to click save, OK, file, and publish. And basically right now I am going to have the index folder where I am going to have some kind of images, and I am going to have the index HTML and some JavaScript. And if I'm going to double click on this HTML, I am going to open this like so. And yeah, for the clients, what we would do is just right click, send to compressed zip folder, and we would send them this zip folder. But yeah, that's something that I explained in the tutorial for the Google Ads. I am repeating myself, but yeah. So yeah, this is it. This is all. If anyone have been here until this point, you can write me that in the comments. That would mean a lot to me. But yeah, I hope that you have learned something. I hope that you are going to be able to use this in your projects. And yeah, thank you very much. Have a nice day and goodbye.